Change is the only constant, right? Why not embrace that then in this sense? Trends are good. Trends are fun. Play. But don't make that your upset. Don't make trends your personality. I think it keeps things interesting. It keeps you challenged when you try new things. You're stimulating a different part of your brain. There is some beauty in repetitiveness because that builds discipline. Hey, Shios. I know the second part of this episode, this birthday special, has been a little bit delayed. And I just want to say thank you so much for your patience. Life actually got real these past few weeks, from personal and family stuff to the busiest season at the studio. It just got wild. I actually had to bring in some extra pair of hands to just stay afloat. But we're back now, and this episode was worth the wait. This part 2 of my birthday episode, I guess it's more of a bonus deep dive. That's what I'm going to call it. I'm actually talking about all things makeup, all things hair, the industry, the trends, the shifts, and the evolution I've witnessed firsthand as an artist in the space. So without further ado, let's get into it.
Hey, so what's your signature style or like go-to look?
In makeup?
Yeah.
I think it's evolved.
Okay.
But I think something common across the board is soft glam with a side of edgy.
Ooh.
That's just who I am.
I love that. And what does that, like, if you could explain the visual.
If I can explain the visual?
Yeah.
What makes something edgy?
Yeah.
Of course, it depends on the client.
Yeah.
And it depends if that even suits that person.
Right. Yeah.
But I always like to add a little smoky element.
Ooh.
I always like to smudge out an eyeliner.
Oh, yes.
Even if it's a wing eyeliner.
Yeah.
I have my own method of like smudging the wing, turning it into like, I'll just fade it into the temple.
Yes, I
or
love
you
that.
know?
Yeah,
That's kind of, I think, one of my signatures.
Yeah.
I feel like you should have one thing to play with. Don't always be so safe.
Yes. Yeah,
You know?
yeah. So what's like something that you like people to like play, like their eyes, their...
What's my favorite thing to do? Okay. So this might be contradicting what I just said, but what I love doing the most is skin.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I know a lot of people that don't wear makeup think, oh, I don't wear a lot of foundation. That's fine. You don't have to wear a lot of foundation, but you have to do it right.
Yeah.
Because if your skin game is strong, you can throw on a pair of lashes, lightly fill in your brows,
It's true.
clear lip gloss, and out the door. You don't even... Cool.
It's
skip
true.
the blush.
Yeah.
I can't believe I'm saying that.
I know, I love blush.
I want blush with me if I'm stranded on an island.
It's so crazy because I feel like blush became more of like the thing before when people have blush on. I'd be like, oh my god, that's too much. It's too much. And now everyone loves. I know. Now everyone loves blush.
Yeah.
Because it really like it pops. It brings out certain. Features.
Yeah. And I love all the placements of blush.
Yeah.
I love the
Higher
90s, 80s style temple extension, which has come back now.
It has just the cheek area.
Just the cheek area if you want like a doll look.
Yeah.
If your face is long, you go a little bit more horizontal. If you have a shorter face, you go more angular.
Yeah.
It's just like I look at a person's face as a grid.
Yeah. It's a canvas. It's a
canvas. Yeah.
Yeah.
Even like eyebrows, I create grids in my head.
Yeah.
Like lids, there's a grid.
Nice.
And then I'll break it down and like design
Oh,
accordingly.
I love it.
That's kind of what's playing in my head.
Yeah, that's the visual you have when you are working with clients. Yeah.
But if I want to come back to what's edgy, I would love to change eyebrow shapes. Eyebrows are my strong suit. And I'll tell you what,
I find eyebrows so hard. So good for you. Eyebrows are so hard.
It's like my superpower.
Oh, I love that.
And again, I feel bad tooting my own horn, but I shouldn't.
No.
I will make dark eyebrows look amazing.
Oh, good for
like
you.
I've been doing this dark brow situation going on.
Yeah.
Just with myself, and I'm loving it. And everyone's stopping me and they're like,
I
what do you
love your
do to your
brows.
eyebrow? I'm like, so couple things.
I love your brows. I was actually noticing it the whole time.
Were you? Oh.
Yeah. I love your brows. No, actually, I love your brows.
I love doing them. And I will do them for people according to their style, of course.
Yeah.
Brows excite out of me. And actually, so because I love them so much, I'm actually introducing a couple more services in the next couple months.
Okay.
I'm going to be doing brow lamination, henna brows.
Stop it.
Yeah.
I need to come to you for brow lamination.
Yeah.
I've actually been thinking about it. Yeah.
And I'm also introducing teeth whitening.
Oh,
yeah.
Girl.
So that's coming. It's coming.
That's amazing.
And it's just cosmetic whitening. But I just feel like I sometimes need to switch things up. But I'll talk about that a little bit more later. So brows is where if someone lets me play, I'll give them a whole new personality. And just recently for myself, I was like, okay, I want to change up my shape.
Yeah.
So what I typically notice in most South Asian women, and it's we have beautiful eyebrows.
Yeah.
It's the arch and then the tail comes down.
Yes.
And as it's supposed to. It's supposed to technically by the golden age ratio at the 45 degree. But if you want to play and be edgy, then there are ways that you can give yourself a fake ponytail lift. And this is something I did for myself over the last month. First of all, I went and I got my Botox redone. Yeah. And I said to her, I want the brow lift.
Yeah.
Once it's settled in, I actually cut off my tail.
Oh, yeah. I've actually seen that. I've seen it.
And then I cut off my tail. So now it doesn't go downwards.
Yeah.
It goes straighter.
I've seen that. Yeah.
So now it's kind of going back to it because the hair grows back and stuff. Yeah. But that gives you this whole snatched ponytail look. And you look like you have a facelift. Right? And I love it. And sometimes if I can just trim a little bit of the tail, I ask the client, I'm like, okay.
I love that.
They're like, oh, all right, I trust you.
I'd be nervous. I don't even know if I can pull it off.
2 hairs off the end.
I feel like I wouldn't be able to pull it off.
I think you would. And what's the worst? It will go back. It's 2 hairs off the tail.
Yeah.
And then you don't like it, you just switch it back.
Yeah.
You know, when you get bored of it, you.
Yeah.
And then I can also manipulate what you have without trimming. Today, if you want slightly more rounded eyebrows, I know how to maneuver with what I have.
Yeah.
If you want to go a little bit thicker. I remember when I was working in real estate. Now I'm this 20-something-year-old and I'm trying to convince people what they should do with their entire life savings. And they should trust me with their investments.
Yeah.
So I had to wear glasses from a lot of my presentations. Okay. I would play with my eyebrow shape depending on the client.
Oh,
I'm like, this is a character I need. So if I knew this is a, tough Indian man.
Yes.
Okay, I'm arching those brows.
Damn, eyebrows make such a big difference.
Big difference. I'm like, you need to be a little intimidated.
Yeah.
You need to take me seriously, and I need to have more structure. Now, if there's someone that has a softer approach, I'd round them out a little bit. Even just the way you do your blush and know your audience.
Wow, that just shows how much more there is to beauty.
Yeah. You are playing a character every day. I'm not saying deceive.
No, of course not.
But why not utilize all of these things as tools to help you just smooth out the process a little bit?
Yeah.
And it's fun.
Yeah. If you like playing around with it, then why not?
Right?
Yeah. And it gives you that inside when you see yourself that way, it gives you that demeanor and that confidence. 100%. But the demeanor that you're trying to present, that's how you end up actually presenting yourself, because that's how you actually feel when you look at yourself that way. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I guess I hope that answers that
question.
The edgy.
The edginess. Right? I love it.
And I think part of the edginess is also if that's who you are.
Oh, yeah.
Right? If you have a little...
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. I know.
You'll carry your makeup that way and your hair, right?
Honestly, at the end of the day, it really comes down to how you carry yourself.
Yeah. Now, if there's a softer... some women have very feminine, soft, rounded features. Then I will enhance that.
Of course.
That's your strong suit.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not going to project my definition of beauty. That's my definition for technically yourself. For me.
Yeah.
And what tends to happen is for the most part, you're gravitating, or your clients are gravitating towards you because that's their style.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
So, and then there's the one-offs.
Yes.
And that you give them what they want.
Yeah. Exactly. What do you think people misunderstand about makeup or hair as an art form?
What do they misunderstand? I think it's not so common anymore, but it was at I think
it's come a long way. Yeah.
In my day.
You are not old.
In my day.
Oh my God, please.
Totally joking.
Don't.
But when I got into it, at that time, there was no Instagram, no social media. There was nothing.
Yeah.
And when you said, I want to do this for a living, I'm like, get a real job, real career. Yeah. And yeah, to some extent, it does help you prepare yourself for the world. But I think at that time, it was completely misunderstood that you could make a living from this. And especially if you're like family's a little more traditional. Like, I remember my dad I heard him on the phone once. But then she just sits in a room and just does makeup all day. Okay.
She's just playing with makeup.
Oh, it was just sits there and does makeup.
Yeah.
Okay. It's fine. It's just generational stuff. But then, it is hurtful a little bit, right? Like, you're like, what the heck?
Yeah. Of course.
I see where I'm at. I won't say they didn't come around. There were moments where it's like, okay, whoa, this is working for you. So then
and I feel like a lot of the times, especially with like that generation in the South Asian community especially, I feel like that's what they need for that validation. Like in any kind of creative space, and you're trying to make a career out of it, they need to see if you're getting something.
And they want results immediately. That's the other issue, right? They want, and then even then they just can't wrap their head around it. Now, rewinding backwards, like, I always loved makeup, this. Even in high school, like, God, like, people are mean. Even your friends, like, I know I was one of the few people who would wear a little bit of makeup to school. My mom used to. She's like, go have fun. Like, I want to go test out my Revlon Stay All Day foundation, that was the thing at the time.
Of course,
and I remember my first MAC bottle, all of that. But I'm here. I'm going to put some on. And, I may have not been perfect at it,
But that's how you learn.
That's how you learn. But it's like, oh, she just puts so much makeup on. Ugh. She puts so much makeup. But meanwhile, the next day, you're coming to school with this Chola girl makeup and eyeliner to the freaking temples, and that's okay, just because you're not wearing foundation. So that's another thing. There's this I don't know how to explain this, but there's like a thing about I don't wear foundation. No, you do.
That's literally what I just did though.
I'm sorry, but like, you are wearing complexion makeup, right? You're like concealer, that's part of the skin, and that is actually the most important thing. Like,
to even out the skin tone.
Even if it's light. Just, it carries everything so much better. Have you ever done your eye makeup and your brows and not had anything on your face?
No.
Try it.
I don't want to, because I already know it's not gonna balance. I already know.
You're like, okay?
Yeah, you could do the opposite.
Yeah, so
you could do the opposite. Like, I've had like complexion, but only like mascara, for example.
There's something about that's the like minimal chic look.
I guess that's like the makeup no makeup look.
But I'll tell you what, if you want this natural look, beat your face with a full coverage foundation, full coverage concealer, pack it on with like your freaking heavy Studio Fix powder foundations, and bake and do whatever. Just wear mascara and a lip gloss. You're gonna look the naturalist you'll ever look.
Lips make a big difference.
It's the skin. Right? And how many times, like, wow, I've had this. Wow, your makeup looks so natural. So nice. It's so pretty. I'm like, you don't even know what's on my face right now, right? But
I think that natural look comes from how you're blending, the techniques.
Exactly. And the texture that you choose and all of that, right? But I think it's definitely a predominant thing with South Asian women. And coming back to misconceptions, something I'm remembering. I remember at that time, if you're interested in these things, you're not serious about life. That's what, she only cares about beauty and her looks. Like, come on, So I think the other layer on top was, not only am I rebellious and I'm staying out too late because of whatever, I'm into these things. So on one hand, there was intrigue all the time. All the aunties and everyone, like, every time I go to India, like, oh, I don't do anything. मैं तो कुछ नहीं करती. theme.
Yeah.
I'm like, I know, it shows.
Yeah. I can see that.
I can see that.
I can see that on your face.
I put Nivea on my face.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I can see all your sunspots.
Yeah.
Like, it's cool.
Yeah.
But it's the condescending tone that you care about all these things. And like, I don't waste my time with all of this. Cool. Like,
that's fine.
Live your life.
Yeah.
You know?
Exactly.
So I grew up with a lot of that.
Yeah.
And now I see the newer generation of artists and because now everyone's doing it. So the parents are like, oh, this and this daughter's doing this, is making so much extra side income. So that's become the norm.
Yeah.
And it's encouraged.
Yeah.
So parents will go out of their way and they'll buy them the best, highest end.
Yeah.
And now I think with our South Asian community, we've grown.
Yes.
You know.
And now the aunties who say that, oh, I don't really do much. Now they're like, oh, can you do my makeup for me? Yeah. Can you do my makeup for this party and this party and that party?
No, I love that. Can you show me?
Oh, yeah.
You can book a class.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Right?
Of course,
you can book a class. I'm not here to just... It's a business. That's what I do.
At the end of the day, it's
for a living. And I mean, I don't do so much makeup for a living anymore, but because I pivoted.
Yeah.
And I do makeup for my regular clients, right? My hair clients are my makeup clients, actually, which is
perfect.
Spot.
Yeah.
And I don't have to do the hustle bustle of the bridal where I'm running from one place to another.
It's a lot.
Yeah. It was great for the period of life that I was in, but now I'm in a different stage. And so I still love makeup. I still do it. And now I'm making it.
Yeah.
Right. I make lipsticks and I have lashes. So I've started retailing that again.
Yeah.
I had to pause a little bit during the pandemic, but coming back to misconceptions, I know I digress. These are some of the misconceptions that I stepped into this industry. So there was just so much resistance.
Yeah. I'm glad that it's changed.
I'm so glad.
I'm glad that people are becoming more open-minded. Yeah. Whether or not it's because it's like, oh yeah, we're seeing people make money, so whatever the reason is, like, I'm just glad that people are getting more open to it. Even like the previous generation, like they are more open.
And I will say the reason I'm fatigued, that's what it is. I'm fatigued. Because some people continue in the bridal and this because it's such good money, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
They continue and they can go because they haven't had any of these pulls from every angle. So now I'm just you know, what's the path of least resistance?
Yeah,
that's when it comes to living my life, I want to take it that way. Path of least resistance. What makes me happy, what makes my soul,
that's what life is about.
That's what it's about,
and that's what it should be about.
Right. And if doing bridal is what it is for you,
then go for it. Exactly.
Right. So, and that was one of the other things I needed my life to be a Monday to Friday, maybe 1 weekend, maybe half a day on the Saturday. And have the weekend to just do all of this. Yeah. Which is fun.
Yeah. Like, I think, like, that's how it is for me, too. I never want, like, something to, like, that one thing to just, like, take up my whole life. Yeah. You know?
Yeah. Then you have to reassess and say, like, this will become an obsession. Yeah. I think when you do too much of something, you do start to hate it.
Oh, 100%. You start to lose the purpose behind it. Yeah. You start to forget why you started it in the first place.
Because that's not your only purpose.
Exactly.
Right? I also feel like the industry in makeup artistry in Canada and maybe locally has changed. It's become very cliquey.
A little, yeah.
Right?
Yeah. I feel like it's like an industry. And if you're part of the industry, that's like your people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think that's just like, maybe that's always been the case. That's just how things work.
Yeah, I mean, I also think like social media makes a big difference too, right?
It's made everything very superficial.
Yeah.
And, okay, so I need to be seen with so-and-so person.
Yes. To like make it in the industry. Yeah. Or like to get noticed in the industry.
Versus I really admire this person. I want to be friends with them.
I will learn from them and like,
Yeah, I would really love to get to know this person.
Exactly. Yeah.
So I think the motives
have changed. Yeah, which is unfortunate. But whatever literally whatever gets them into the headspace that they need.
Exactly. Fair.
So trends, obviously, especially because of social media, they're always changing and shifting. So how do you stay kind of true to your I guess, creative side with all these trends
like
shifting.
Because they're shifting, and how do I adapt to
Yeah,
those?
yeah.
I think what I've done is trends are good.
Yes.
They're fun.
Yeah.
Test it out.
Yeah.
But don't stick to it if it's not working.
Don't force
Why
yourself.
fix what's not broken?
Yeah.
So, you know that, I know I'm saying a lot of taglines here. Keep it simple, stupid.
Yeah.
Just keep it simple.
Yeah.
You know you have a system that works for you.
Yes.
You don't need to drop that.
It's
But why would I not buy from the company that I've been loyal to?
Yeah.
Who supports me as a pro artist?
Yeah.
And gives me the 40%. We literally, the amount of makeup we go through.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Right? Why would I not? And the real reason you want to keep those in yours to flex.
Yeah.
Look at how high end my products are. Whereas
I know. I know. You know what I've been noticing recently on social media, which honestly I love? A lot of, I don't know if they're like makeup artists or influencers or whatever, but a lot of them are actually comparing dupes.
Oh, I love oh my gosh.
With high-end products, and so many of them are actually encouraging that like some of these dupes are actually better.
Some of them are better.
Yeah. So
100%.
I've been noticing that a lot, and I love it.
Yeah, I used to actually do a lot of dupe testing myself.
Yeah.
I would never put the dupe in my kit. But unfortunately, it's just come to this, like your clients are just
they're gonna look at your kit and see what kind of products you. I know, which is so like
just so infuriating, right? Because I have to now keep my costs, my business costs high because
of the
which is fine. You know what? There's certain things that I will spend the money on.
Yes.
Like again, foundations and complexion.
Foundation and concealers. I feel like those are skin related things. I actually think it's very important.
Very important
to have like more of like the higher end stuff.
Even skincare.
My
100%. Skincare is
100%.
so primo.
Yeah.
And I go to the ends of the earth to go and get them.
Yeah, and with skincare too, it's so hard to find something that actually works for your skin. So when you do finally find it, I mean, at that point, no matter how much it is, you're like, well, this is something that actually works for my skin. I'm going to use it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what I keep in my kit is actually from an indie brand. So I feel really good about that. Again, supporting
why not?
Female-run independent business, not bought by these conglomerates.
Yeah.
Which is also fine. I do buy from them too.
I know.
You know.
What's the company? What brand?
It's called Sonia Roselli. She is actually a skin therapist, makeup artist in her 50s.
Oh, wow.
And she developed this line for bridal and for 40, 50 plus.
Oh.
But I find that it works beautifully on every single person. So this one product that I absolutely love, it's called the Sex Appeal.
Okay.
It's a gommage peel.
Okay.
And this is something I will do on every bride or every client.
Yeah.
It's literally, it will take off the
dead
dirt
skin
layer of your skin. You'll see it peel off.
Yeah.
And it completely primes your face to accept the smoothness you'll get from your foundation is just
and like it's been like good for every like skin type.
Every skin type.
Okay, that's good to know.
I will ask them in advance, like, are you sensitive? Because exfoliants can be, and if they are photosensitive and if they are going into the sun, I will put a little bit of SPF. But I'll follow that with something called a water elixir.
Okay, yeah.
It's not a toner, and I use it on myself every day. It's just like a sip of water.
Oh, I love it. It just refreshes.
Yeah, it just
hydrates.
adds back like a sip, really, and you're just like, oh, now I'm back to this bouncy, rather than that like ripped, dry feeling. And then I'll follow that with a water bomb.
Nice. Okay.
So
very hydrating,
very water based. It actually has a little bit of hyaluronic acid, I think.
Yes.
Which hold on to a little bit of moisture. If you are dry, it's really, really good for that.
Yeah.
And then they have 2-3 other products for if you have drier skin.
Nice. Okay.
So I personally use the line, and I have it in my kit.
Okay.
So
nice. Good to know.
Yeah. So my mom's husband, I'm like, hey, when you coming over the border?
Yeah.
Can you smuggle me something?
Can you? Yeah. Honestly, take advantage of that.
He's so sweet. He's like, so I'm coming. Do you want to place your order now?
Oh, that's so sweet.
And I'm
That's
like,
actually very sweet.
he's so sweet. He's
Yeah.
so sweet. And he gets the coupons in the mail, and he's like,
Yeah.
I've kept these for you, by the way, from this week to this. And he's Guju, right? So
Yeah.
he gets a high off of me saving
Deals.
money.
Coupons and deals. And oh my
Freaking
God,
love
that's
it.
so funny.
It's the best.
Yeah.
Does that answer your question?
Yes, it does. it does beautifully.
But trends, you said about trends. So I guess in a nutshell is trends are good, trends are fun, play, but don't make that your upset. Don't make trends your personality. I know I see that in some people. It's like, no, I have to just bounce on to the next trend.
And they kind of just stick to
and
it.
they make that their whole personality for that little while, and then they drop it. And there's something good about consistency. And,
yeah, exactly. Like there's something good about knowing what you're good at. Right?
And knowing the more you use your products, the more you find ways to use it.
Yeah.
Like something I've used, for example, from the beginning of my career to now.
Yeah.
Is the Studio Fix.
Yes.
Right?
Exactly.
I know it's so old and it's a cult favorite. Everybody loves it. But like the number of ways I've learned to use this thing it's fascinating.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's another thing too. Like the more you use a certain product, you learn how to work with it.
You learn the medium.
Yeah.
Right?
You learn how it's supposed to be used.
Yeah.
Right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And anytime I do one-on-one makeup workshops, I always get like, I have setting powder, but like, I don't know, I don't feel like my makeup lasts, and I don't know why my makeup looks like. Every single person has this complaint.
Yeah.
And then I bust out and I show them how to use, and they're like, you've changed my life.
Yeah.
So now I stalk them. They're I basically like their drug dealer.
Yeah. Nice.
I got your taste, and now you're addicted.
Yeah.
So, and they love it.
That's
and
amazing.
sometimes you just have to use it by itself.
Yeah.
And it's so good. Right? Great for heat. Great for...
Yeah.
There are some comparable brands, but I don't think they come anywhere close.
Really?
The new Makeup Forever matte...
Foundation?
There's the powder, I forget what it's called, comes close, but it's not true to what you see in the package. So if it looks like a medium beige, it'll go on medium tan.
Okay, yeah.
And then there's this like oxidation situation that
I noticed
happens.
that too. A lot of foundations now like oxidize.
And that's actually why it's a good idea to go a half a shade lighter.
Yeah.
Because it does need to change.
It changes.
It takes the shape. And to be honest, if you have the budget for it, and you know, beauty and makeup and things like that is of interest to you, get two colors and customize because you have a summer shade and you have a winter shade, right? Mix and match textures.
Yeah.
Why can't you do that? Like my go-to foundations, my like say my top two currently is House Labs.
I've heard good things about that one.
I'm wearing it right now.
I love it.
It's butter.
I've heard really good things about it.
Butter.
Yeah.
House Labs and the Easy Blur Huda. And sometimes I mix the two because one is a little more matte, this one's a little more dewy.
Yeah.
Gives you the perfect in between.
I definitely gravitate towards my
dewies, right? Because you
Yeah.
have that kind. You have poreless skin.
Stop. No, I have pores. I swear.
You have no pores. You have no texture.
Oh my
your
God.
face is like a dream to work on.
You're so sweet. I do.
I'm just
I do. There's
being
like
factual, actually, but
I go into like the Charlotte Tilbury or the Giorgio Armani. Those are the ones that
I loved Giorgio.
Giorgio Armani is it's expensive, but
what isn't? What foundation isn't expensive? And what you do is you make your list and you buy it at the Sephora sale.
Exactly. Right? That's literally what I did. Yeah.
I literally just stock up for the whole year for the kit at that time, and it works out.
Yeah.
And also you don't go through so much foundation.
That's another thing too. It's like how often do you really? Yeah.
Exactly.
So since you've been doing makeup and hair for so long, for either or, was there ever like a favorite client experience?
Too many.
Oh, okay. That's so good
I know we always talk about the scary stories and the bad ones because they just are more dramatic and spicy. But for the most part, most of my clients have been amazing.
That's so good that's good.
They're just so sweet. And I remember, if I could pull one out of my memory box.
Yeah.
I showed up and she's like, okay, I know you love music. What can I play? I need you to be in the best like frame of mind, and I want you to do your best work.
Oh my God, that's so
I was like,
sweet.
can I kiss you right now? I'm like, shut up. It's your day.
Oh, this was a bride?
Yeah.
Oh my God,
and
so sweet.
she was just trying to take care of me the entire. You've been standing for. Why don't you take a minute?
Oh my God,
Take a minute. I'm like,
that's
listen.
very sweet.
I'll sit when I'm dead.
Yeah,
you
that's
know?
very sweet.
So sweet. And then the moms come in with like snacks and chai.
Yes.
They're like, "But khale."
Yeah.
Like, don't worry.
Yeah,
You're
yeah,
standing working. A little sugar won't do anything for you.
Yeah.
And you're like,
I know, so tempted.
I can't say no to mithai.
I know.
I can't say no to mithai.
Oh, really? I'm not a big fan of Indian mithai.
I am obsessed.
I can't. I have a bit of like a sweet tooth, but like
that's interesting.
Yeah.
Have you had good Indian mithai then?
Yeah, I can do like gajrela. I can do like the gajrela.
Yeah.
Like
So you don't like
type?
kheer?
No,
You don't like rasmalai?
I like rasmalai, but again, I can't have like too much of it.
No. You're
Yeah.
not supposed to have too much.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can have rasmalai. I can't do like barfis.
Okay,
I can't do barfis.
Yeah, I don't. Barfis are like.
Or like laddus, I can't do. Like,
God, I love laddus.
yeah, no, I can't do laddus.
I would, the Indian shadi ke laddu.
Yes.
Every time I would get those.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I love laddu. I don't know what it is, but they need to be buttery. I need to feel more salty buttery.
Okay, yeah.
Than sugar.
Yeah.
So that's my requirement
Yeah.
for mithai.
Yeah.
Essentially.
There's like this one. So my mom recently came back from India, and there's like this, I guess mithai or this sweet. I guess it's called doda.
Oh yeah.
I love doda.
I love doda.
Yeah.
I love it.
Like I like that stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I like doda.
Alright.
Yeah.
Now I know. I love mithai. I find them just so visually
Yeah. Visually, they're like, oh my God, they look beautiful.
so beautiful, right? Even baklava is like that,
Oh,
right?
baklava is really good.
Just
yeah.
visually, just stunning.
Yeah. But yeah.
Because you eat with your eyes, right?
Yeah, it's true.
So yeah, basically, like she was just such a doll. She was just taking care of me, and I was just like, I need to take care of you.
Yeah.
And I kept reminding her of that, and she just kept getting emotional that I'm that person for her. And she was like, in the old days, the sahelis, the girlfriends would, dress the bride, right?
Yeah.
And she's like, that's the experience you've made, like you've given me today.
Yeah.
Like I feel like you're my girl, like you're my friend. Like I wouldn't have anybody else. It's just your energy, and you're just so kind. I'm like, can you stop complimenting me? It's not my freaking day.
It's so important to have that relationship though with your clients, and like it really does make the client feel just so much more relaxed, especially on like their wedding day.
Yeah, 100%.
Right.
Yeah, I think you also have to be that kind of person.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. And I feel like I have a lot of those.
Of course, yeah. You have all those.
And with my hair clients, like I have some clients that I can't help they've become my friend. Like I can't help it.
Yeah, your chair is like, there's stories being told. You're like a therapist.
Yeah.
There's so much more that goes on in that chair than just hair.
Oh my God. Sometimes I'm like, are we even doing hair?
Yeah.
At this point, right? I have this one. She's a special one to me. She was my day one from the day I pivoted. She's like, I've been waiting for you to start this. So I can just come to you. And she is the most loyal client I've ever seen. I've actually had to turn. I'm like, your hair's perfect. Get out of my driveway.
Yeah.
And then she's like, really? You don't think I need anything? I'm like, no, come on in. Let's have a coffee. Let's have a drink.
Yeah.
Let's just chat.
Let's just chat.
I'm like, you come here with perfect hair and it's styled and curled.
Oh my
She's
God.
like, wait, I'm here for my maintenance. Am I not due? I'm like, I guess I did too good of a job.
Yeah.
But you don't even need it.
You don't need maintenance. You look great. But you can still come inside and we can have coffee.
And she's just this like sexy mamacita, Colombian hottie. Yeah. And she's just this powerhouse woman. She was actually my mortgage agent from my previous condo.
Oh wow.
Yeah. And she comes in and I don't know, I just feel like
when you have like those kind of clients, those are like the reminders of why you do what you do.
Yeah. And she is not afraid to share her vulnerabilities with me, but in a very like not non-dumping way.
Yeah.
You know, and then
it's more conversational. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, so I've been over to her house. Like, we make dinner plans. Like, she's great. I love her.
That's so nice.
I know. And she's moving so close to me too now.
Oh, that's it. Game over. Game over now.
Right? And she loves dogs. So that also helps. Like,
Oh, yeah. That definitely helps. Oh, that's so nice. Yeah. It really does remind you of why you love what you do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then with hair, what I absolutely love about the regular and loyal client experience is there was this one client, she came in 2 days before her delivery date.
Oh, wow.
Okay. She's like, I have to have my glow up because I'm not going to be able to do this for a very long time. Like, you know, and then as she was going out, I'm like, do you realize we've been in each other's life and I've seen so many stages.
Oh, yeah.
I've seen you get married.
Yes.
I've seen you move into your home. I've seen you with your first child. I've seen you now with your second.
Oh, my God, yeah.
She melted. She was just like, you've been with me through all of that. I'm like,
I know, that's the thing.
It's just my heart, right?
When you have like your regular clients, and that's the thing, like especially with hair, I feel like when clients find their person, they stick to that person.
Yeah, 100%. I do think that loyalty in this day and age has gotten down because everyone is just ADD. Who's the next trendy person in this? Whose Instagram is
most poppin'?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's fine.
Yeah.
Those people have worked really hard on their social media presence and they're of course talented. That's why that's there. But like there is something important about loyalty when it comes to hair and makeup. The more you do, the more you that's why actors and actresses have they fly their makeup artists with them, right?
Well, yeah, because it's like because they know your skin, they know your hair,
they know your chemistry.
Yeah,
they will tell you things like, "Hey, you're not going to like what I'm going to do right now." I told you the story off camera, right? Not going to like what I'm going to do, but this is what's the best for your hair. Like, you need this right now.
Yeah. And they trust that. They're just like, all right, like, I've been trusting you with my hair and makeup for so long. All right, cool. I trust it.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. So those are like, I guess, the sum of positive
that's
experiences.
Beautiful.
Yeah, it really is. It's very touching.
Yeah, that's like, it's very good to hear that you know these people are still there
and they come back, right?
Yeah.
With brides, it's like, okay, I'm here, and yes, it's a big part of your life, but when's the next you come back to me? Next year, maybe the year after, if you have a wedding in your family, and then it's probably like the frequency isn't there, right? And it's done. But with hair, there's such relationship building,
because it's like every few months, right? Maintenance, partial, full, like cuts. There's so many
conversation.
Yeah, just like I'm just here to have a conversation.
Can I get a blowout? I'm just gonna come for a blowout and
talk to you.
Just talk to you every Friday morning. Is our session.
Aww, you know, that's nice. Yeah, that's
buy a blowout package and then
there you go.
That's your morning chat.
Exactly.
So nice.
That's like your morning reflection.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Actually, a lot of times my morning reflections come from the conversations I've had the previous day with my clients.
I do it with like anytime I like have hangouts. Like with anyone. If I'm hanging out with anyone. Yeah. The next morning is always my reflection time of the conversation.
What were the themes?
Yes.
The common themes. What are the insecurities? What are the blockages? Yeah. And I'll think about those. Yes. And like, do I carry them? Yeah. I'm sure, is this a common thing? Yeah. You know, let me put it down.
You learn a lot from other people. That's the thing. You learn a lot about other people just through regular conversation.
And observation.
Yeah. Yeah.
For sure.
Okay. So beauty has changed, obviously, throughout the years. So what did beauty mean to you growing up, and has that changed?
I think it was a tough situation, tough story. I grew up actually very chubby.
Oh, okay.
Just chubby kid. Yeah, you know? And then because we were in Dubai and we're in the sun a lot, I would get tan. Yeah. I have skin type 5 or whatever you want to call that, right? I was a tan, chubby kid with buck teeth and glasses and little strings. So I was not an attractive kid. That cute kid was not me. Oh. Right? And you know, sometimes I know all kids are amazing and they're like gifts from God. But I can say this about myself. If I'd be like, okay, this kid's annoying. You know, because it's just when the sad thing is when you unfortunately sometimes have that personality and everyone around you's kind of judging you for that. As a kid, you become a little annoying and needy and always sad. So I think that happened. I remember there was discrimination with my cousins. Like they would just purposely like count my brother and I out of plans while they're making plans with the other.
Rude.
Yeah, I remember that. And I know part of it was because of the appearance. And it was my dad's side, not so much my mom. Yeah, my mom.
That explains a lot. Just kidding. It's always
one side, right?
I feel like usually the dad side.
Usually.
Yeah.
And so it was, you feel very invalid. And then, and also my brother was also a chubby kid, you know? So my mom would often tell me the ugly duckling story. I know you're like, God, what? That's so toxic.
No, but like, no.
You're calling me an ugly duckling, right?
Are you trying to say that I'm an ugly duckling? Is this
no. So she would say, she's like, you are going to blossom into someone amazing and beautiful and all of that. She was just giving me hope. That's what she was trying.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
So at such a young age, your entire existence is focused. You start to learn as a child, as a young girl, that everything is on looks.
I know. And like, I think the sad part is that that's mostly the case for girls.
It's mostly the case for girls, right?
Like when girls are growing up, the first thing that people look at girls especially is their appearance.
Yeah. And then in our culture is the color. Like, so pretty much my whole life, I was reminded from many, many sources and areas, you're a dark girl, you're dark, you're tan, you're dark. And I became so insecure about it.
Beautiful, by the way.
Which is honestly, tell me that you don't look more like ripped.
Oh, yeah.
And just glowy when you're
100%.
Right?
Now people who are not tan, they're trying to get tan.
They're going to get tan. But we fast forwarded and kind of worked on that, right? But back then it would be things like, your elbows are really dark. Yeah, I'm a kid. I scrape my elbows.
Yeah.
I'm playing outside. I don't care. Oh, your knees are dark. So I remember, like, when I grew up, I would, like, whenever I wore skirts, I would want to put tanner and, like, leg makeup.
Do you remember Fair and Lovely?
I used Fair and Lovely.
Oh, my gosh.
I did all of those things. And I was just like, and I just started hating. I used to be, and I'll tell you what, and I'm sure you've noticed this.
Yeah.
In our culture, the girls that are fair skinned are born with a silver spoon. You're automatically an angel. You're so the purity aspect of it, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I've met quite the opposite personalities, but that's a story for another day. No, that's beautiful too.
Yeah.
There's nothing not beautiful about fair. Yeah. All skin tones are beautiful.
Yeah.
But they make you feel like all the
you're on a pedestal when you have
you're putting this person on a pedestal and you don't get to be on it, right?
There's that discrimination.
Yeah. And then fast forward to as I was growing up, adolescence, teenager, early 20s, I started noticing how men actually treat, or what's the immediate psychology when they meet an attractive fair girl versus an attractive tan girl. I'll tell you the difference. And this is a lot more often with men, but I have seen that across the board with men and women, okay? The tan girl is very sexy.
Yeah.
So symbol.
Yes. Yeah.
That's and especially if you look like a confident woman, which, she's a man-eater.
Yeah.
Right? Even though you're like, just so nice.
Like, what do you mean? I'm just here. Hello. Yeah.
Right? But that's always like the first impression.
Yeah.
I did some research on this topic, and this is actually common all across the world.
Oh, wow. That's good. Interesting.
Yeah. So there is that discrimination I always felt. And then that changed for me because I would just sit in my room and do makeup. And when I did that, it wasn't to try to make myself beautiful or anything, but the act of painting and creating this character. It was therapeutic. It's very therapeutic, right? So that really saved me from feeling like that. And I was able to, but then for a little while, I started convincing, it's like, yeah, you only look like this when you wear makeup. Right? Just entirely. And then what's happening is as you're feeling all these things, you're projecting it subconsciously into the world. Hence why you end up getting into these narcissistic relationships, and because you're signaling it. You're not confident.
You're literally kind of bringing that energy in. Yeah.
Your self-worth, right?
Yeah.
And then I think, again, it came down to going to the ashram and all of that. And like, I really did so much work there.
Yeah.
And also, it was an interaction with one individual that just crossed a line.
Oh, shit.
I'm like, now you're just doing this in front of my face.
At the ashram?
Not at the ashram.
Oh, like, before that. Okay.
Yeah. And I was like, no.
Yeah.
No. You are overstepping.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something.
Yeah.
In case you didn't know, melanin-rich skin is actually superior.
Yeah.
In the sense, like scientifically,
yeah,
there is a natural built-in SPF. Okay?
Yeah.
So get your facts right.
Yeah.
And then come talk to me.
Good for you.
Right?
And I didn't know that. That's very interesting. Yeah.
And it's your own body's way of protecting itself.
Yeah.
So something that is, I'll talk about this on another episode maybe one day, but what you can't control is your skin color.
Yeah.
What you can't control is your height.
Yes.
I think women are so mean about men that are not
I know,
tall.
I feel really bad.
Right?
I know.
And I hear it from all the girls that talk to me in my chair. They're like, oh yeah, I really like him. He is everything, but he's short.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, yeah, he's 5'8". That's not that
That's
short.
Not short. Yeah.
Okay. I'll tell you, I'm married a shorter guy.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Fucking guys. Confidence?
Yeah.
It's just...
Yeah.
Right? And he's just built and he's lean. He's like...
Again, it all comes down to how someone
You
carries
cannot
themselves.
control that.
Yeah.
What you can control is your weight.
Yes. Oh,
to an extent.
Unless you have like health issues.
But even your health issues,
then, it's happening because
they're metabolic. Yeah. There's something that's gone wrong due to your lifestyle.
Yeah.
And my brother passed away from that. And I would tell him, you can control this.
Yeah.
You can't control anything else. Yeah. And I'm also saying, don't punish people for that either, right? Like, you don't punish anybody for any of these things. I have alopecia, for example. And I remember punishing myself so much, like, my hair. Until one day I'm like, nah, I don't care. Sure, I have a bald spot, whatever. I'm going to talk about it. I'm going to be the spokesperson for alopecia and carry this confidently. Yeah. Everything changed.
Exactly.
Every single thing changed. So that's what it was. From that moment, I was like, I will no longer care about my skin color. And then my husband, he's like, that's my favorite part about you. I remember him. He's like, I don't know why you wear, like, when we're beach like bums, right?
Yeah.
He's like, I don't know why you cover up like this. It's like,
show off more.
Yeah. And I'd be like, I don't know. I feel like, the pigmentation. He's like, are you joking right now?
Yeah.
So
yeah, it's sad as to how long, like, no matter how far you've come with like how you perceive yourself, there's still little parts of that just kind of sticks to you.
Yeah.
And just like for how long that is kind of just still
it's taking away your freedom. I didn't go out in the sun. I love the sun.
Yeah.
I'm such a beach bum. I will go every opportunity. But I'm sitting here with a hat and like a this and in a tent and I'm like, I'm really buying it. I don't want to get tan. Why? Be out. We need
you can't be yourself.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And in the summer, I get cooked.
Yeah.
I'm just going to buy a new foundation. Whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, okay.
I have my summer shade already with me,
Exactly.
Now I like learn to enjoy that makeup because your makeup style changes a little bit, right?
Yeah.
I think like melanin rich girls look really good with any kind of smoky.
Oh, yeah.
Because obviously it's the sultry, right?
Yeah,
so fine. I'll own it then.
Yeah.
And
it's true though. Yeah.
So I love that like smudged eyeliner.
Me too. Yeah.
And I love that. It's sultry.
Smokiness and the Yeah,
bronze,
it really is. Yes.
and the bronze highlighter, and not always like the really light champagne, but like the gold.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It's just mwah.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah. You can really play around with things like makeup and looks so differently.
Yeah.
And it just becomes so beautiful and just
so beautiful.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen a solid red dress on a tan woman?
Yeah.
Like, I just want
to
faint. It's just that it's so beautiful.
It pops.
Like, I think Deepika Padukone, right? Like, she is a swan.
Oh my God, I'm obsessed with her. I love her. I love everything about
I love Bipasha. I love Deepika. I love Priyanka. I love
Priyanka.
Aishwarya. I love all of them.
All the 90s actresses.
All of them. 90s, now, whoever.
Now,
the fair girls, the deep, whatever. I like them all because there's just beauty in all. I'm all about transformations.
Well, that's what it is. Like we were saying this before. Your chair has a lot more than just
100%.
You know, that physical, appearance.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Definitely has a lot of emotional to it. And like I said, it's about transformation. I think my life has been about transformation. Yes. It transformed from growing up really depressed and miserable. Like I lived with depression my whole life, actually.
Yeah.
And undiagnosed ADHD and all of these things. And I don't know if you know how, of course you know, what am I saying? How ADHD actually affects women is very different from how it affects men.
I actually don't know.
Yeah, it really, really does. And the side effect of that is depression. But what tends to happen is you can be a high functioning.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So just going through all of that, having all of these cycles that I was just part of, and then I broke it all, right? I'm still breaking many.
And I think that's part of life.
Yeah,
right?
So it's transformation.
Yeah, it's part of life, and I feel like that transformation it shouldn't ever stop.
It shouldn't. Right? And now I'm able to perform that on my clients.
Yes.
In not just a superficial way.
No, yeah.
So that's pretty cool how that all kind of fit in, right?
It's through experiences.
Yeah.
Right? And I think that's also a big reason. Apart from your personality and how you are, your experiences really help clients relate.
Yeah.
Right.
And I share.
Yeah.
Even if the client is okay to hear it, I don't want to dump.
Yeah.
But I'll always share things as a matter of fact. So this was a story. This was a bad thing that happened, but it's a story.
Yeah.
I will never be like, oh, this happened to me.
Yeah.
I'll be like, no, it's a story. I'm telling you because there's a lesson in here.
It's a story because so many people have gone through it.
So many people have gone through it. Or maybe they haven't. Maybe it's me. Maybe, I don't know, whatever. But
there's always something to learn from.
Yeah. And that's the only way I'm going to look at it.
Exactly.
It's a story.
It's a story. It's not your identity. It's not who you are. It's a story.
It doesn't need to just live rent free in my head all the time, right?
Exactly. And it shouldn't, right? You should be able to find outlets to be able to express what you've gone through.
100%.
Right? That's how healing
works. Yeah.
Right? And however way you need to express it, right? Mm-hmm. Whether that's telling it or through movement, whatever it is.
Whatever it is, yeah.
Right?
I agree.
Transformation.
Okay.
Huh?
I said hashtag transformation.
I know, hashtag transformation and Sonam's hair. Sonam's chair.
Sonam's chair.
Sonam's chair.
Hair in my chair.
Hair in your chair. Okay, so obviously throughout this, whole experience for many years, I'm sure you've had challenges and you've grown a lot, what we've been talking about right now. So have you ever felt burnt out or like you were losing yourself? And what brought you back?
Yeah, many times.
Yeah.
I think when I was working in real estate, I think it just depleted me entirely. I'll tell you what, nothing empties you out more than sales calls.
Oh my gosh, I know.
If you want to just kill your soul a little bit, really, that just sit there and do that for 4 hours in a day.
Yeah.
I just couldn't.
Yeah, you learn a lot from sales for sure. You learn a lot about yourself through sales, but it is so draining.
Yeah, I wanted to vomit at the end of every day, and I think that was a big part of me just being done.
Yeah.
Then fast forward to I think everything there's an expiration.
Yes.
Right? I know I didn't talk about this much, but I also taught at a Canadian beauty college as a makeup artist instructor, teaching the day class, the evening class for a short period. I ended up becoming the media manager on campus. So I was handling a lot of things, and I became like the senior head makeup artist in the diploma program. So I was like working with the other instructors. I just got so much responsibility. I loved it.
Yeah.
Until I couldn't.
Right.
I'm like, this is my ceiling. That's all. I should be doing this for myself. Then I started teaching. I started doing master classes. I stared doing. Yeah. And I'm like, I can do this for myself.
Yes, exactly.
And I can teach it the way I want to teach it. Right?
Yes. There's a lot of. There's not enough. What's the word? I guess freedom.
Yeah.
And
it's creativity. by the book.
Yeah. I noticed that even with like dance companies, for example. Like if you're an instructor for a dance company, like there's a very you're limited to your creativity.
Yeah. I think that's just what happens when you do work for somebody. I guess.
Yeah.
That's just how it is.
Yeah.
I loved the team. It was a group of brilliant women. Really good environment. I was surprised for how many women we were together. We did really well. I'm actually still in touch with one of the owners. When I left, they sold that location, the Toronto location, back to the head office.
Oh, okay.
It was franchised,
okay.
right?
Yeah,
so they were also done. So it all kind of worked out.
It kind of worked out then.
That way?
Yeah. And how long were you doing that?
3 years. I think 3 or 4. Yeah, so it was quite some time.
That was quite some time.
Yeah.
But I'm sure you learned a lot.
Oh, it was so fun.
Yeah.
It was so fun.
Yeah.
But then I also realized, like, you don't need to go through, like, a 9-month program.
Yeah.
You can just go out and practice yourself because you're working on the same students' faces. You're not bringing in models every day. You're only bringing them on exam days, right?
Yeah.
So I was like,
yeah.
I like the masterclass approach or a one-on-one.
Cool. One-on-ones, yeah.
Can I tell you, like, what I was getting paid in a month there, I was getting paid in a 2-day class.
Oh, wow. Masterclass or one-on-one?
One-on-one.
Yeah.
And I loved it. I was just booking left, right, and center.
Yeah. You get very, like, personal. It's just you and the other client.
And I'm just, like, lasered into you.
You're focused.
And I'm very hospitable, so I always have, like, a special lunch or, like, cookies or something ready to go. Yeah. Like, it's part of the day. That's part of the whole
You
thing.
are like that. Even when I come, you're like, here, you want heel? I'm like... You're very hospitable.
You brought me some today, so thank you.
Of course.
Just obsessed. I love it so much. So good.
Yeah.
But yeah,
it's like a whole experience that you created.
And then I got burnt out of that too.
Yeah.
Because then when so many artists came into the industry and they all started teaching master classes and I was like, okay, I'm bored. Yeah. I don't want to do what everybody else does. Right? I don't know if that makes me sound like a jerk, but
not at all. No, I think it's important to have like your own creativity, like what makes it unique to you.
Yeah, and I think when it does get saturated to this point,
it just kind of dies down.
Yeah. Now there's too many. Am I part of the problem?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know. I was, but then this is why I pivoted and I got out of makeup and weddings and all that because that burnt me out as well. Yeah. 3 a.m., 4 a.m. brides.
It's and then so draining.
It's too much.
It's too much. The commuting.
And the weekends.
Yeah.
So, and I got married. So I needed more structure. I need to work from home. Hair is making sense to me now.
Yeah.
It's been 3 years?
Yeah.
Really
amazing.
Solid.
Yeah.
3 years and I love it.
Yeah.
And now I'm adding more things to keep it exciting, even for myself, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And obviously we have a different economic situation right now. Mm-hmm. People spend differently. Yes. They focus on different things. So trying to make sure I tap into that.
Yeah.
And now I'm doing this.
Yeah.
Right?
I love
this
it.
is another way of teaching.
I love it. Yeah. I think it's like important to always finding, like, I don't want to say
evolution.
Yeah. I don't want to say that, you know, you should, like, anyone should be constantly be looking for the next thing where you're just like draining.
Yeah.
But I think naturally as people evolve, your creativity or your career path, like, that's naturally gonna evolve.
Yeah. I know there's people, you know, the company man that works at the same place for 25 years and all of that.
Yeah.
And there's something very admirable about that, right?
Yeah, totally.
I don't think I can be, I will fall into a rut. That's when I'll feel burnt out and miserable. I don't know which day. It's like a hamster running in a wheel.
Yeah.
And I don't want to be a hamster.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
And honestly, I think it keeps things interesting. It keeps you challenged when you try new things. You're stimulating a different part of your brain.
Yeah, I think it's important to get out of like that comfort zone, right? I think a lot of the times people do stay in that same thing for 20, 30 years because they're comfortable.
Yeah.
Not necessarily they have like that drive, right? But I think it's important to get out and do something out of your comfort zone because again, that's when you actually grow, and it's only uncomfortable until it becomes comfortable.
I agree.
Right? Yeah. And like that's how like your neuroplasticity is created. That's how different new neural pathways are created, right? Exactly. By constantly trying new things. Yeah. Right? And I'm the same. I literally go from one thing to the other.
you keep yourself very busy. You do so many things. So many things. But I love that.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, it's like spicy.
Yeah, that's what it is. And I don't feel like there are times when I would feel burnt out. Anything that's natural.
Yeah. When you pack too much into your schedule.
Yeah,
exactly. And that's also natural.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But then I think with time you start to learn how to organize.
Schedule it.
Yeah.
Better.
Exactly. Yeah.
And like, so I know how much I can take on in a day. I won't do more than 2 clients.
That's the thing. Eventually it gets to a point where you're just kind of like, you know, I don't need to be like going so.
Sure, I'll make more money, but like, is that at the cost really of what?
Yeah.
At the cost of me not sleeping, eating.
Yeah.
Where'd this come from? You know, there's all sorts of things.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, as you get older, your priorities
change. And for some people, it doesn't. Some people, it's just money.
Yeah, which is fine.
And which is fine.
Yeah.
You know, everyone has different. I don't have kids.
Yeah.
I don't have to work so hard to ensure I'm taking care of this human's future.
Yeah.
It's not for me.
Yeah. Yeah. No, and that's what like, and for a lot of people, it's not, right? Yeah. And that's okay. It's like fine. You get clarity on how you want to live your life.
Yeah. So yeah, I think oftentimes we do burn out when we are doing the same repetitive thing over and over. There is some beauty in repetitiveness because that builds discipline, that builds, like, it sharpens up that muscle.
Yeah.
But after a certain point, you know, just like when you're working out, right? When you need an offloading period as well.
Yeah.
And you'll start to notice, like, you keep going heavier and heavier and heavier, and you're doing the same, you know, few different workouts, but you're doing the same thing for like a year or 2 years. Eventually you're like, nothing's changing.
Yeah.
Right? So you have to switch it up.
Yeah.
There's a conditioning that we need to sort of get out of, and that when you start feeling that burnout, that's the call.
Sign. It's like a
change.
Sign. Yeah.
Change is the only constant, right?
Oh, yeah.
So why not embrace that then in this sense?
Exactly. And I get it. Like, change is scary, but regardless of what happens during that exchange, you're going to learn something from it.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. And sometimes you fail when you change. That happens.
But you need to fail in order to succeed.
Yeah. Easier said than done.
100%. For sure. And I think that's where the imposter syndrome comes in.
And the consequence of, like, our society, right? And how people, like, our families, parents, like, you're failing. Like, that's the consequence. And then how that's making you feel bad. That's the consequence. But, like, stop giving a shit about what other people simple thing.
Yeah, and again, like it's hard, especially if you grew up in that kind of environment and needing validation. But yeah, you really need to be able to like train your mind to really be able to get out of that. And again, I think it really does help like your environment outside of that.
Yeah.
Right? Because they can help you.
Actually, I want to backtrack a little and say, I know I keep saying stop giving a shit about what people think, because you should care to an extent. Yeah. I just think if it's the type of care that's sabotaging you, don't care about those things.
Yes.
If it's coming in the way of your happiness, or if it's coming 100%. In the way of, then don't care about it. Yeah. If it's making you hate your skin color, get rid of it. Yeah. But
if it's bringing you down in any way.
Exactly. But I'm not saying don't give a shit about what your parents feel. Yeah. You know, I'm not saying that. Yeah. Like there's within reason.
Of course. Yeah. I think there's like a line for it, but I think like a lot of the times we're kind of in the environment where it's like when it's literally just people are putting you down and you're still having to care about that because it's society. Yeah. You know?
Yeah. That is what I think we need to eliminate.
Yeah. Okay, so what's next for you? What's going on?
There's always a next.
Yeah.
I think I'm currently in my next, which is this. Yes. Right? What's next for this? Definitely want more guests. Yeah. Definitely wanted to evolve into not just business, but also a self-help space. Yeah. I don't know why I think I'm the expert on all of this, but that's why I need your help. Psychology expert. Right?
No, I'm no expert either.
I just have life experience a little bit.
I was going to say, I think like more than education and all that, it really comes down to life experiences. And that's what makes it relatable. Yeah. Right? Yeah. It's not so much education.
Yeah. But also at the same time, I'm not like hell bent on the metrics. Yeah. I'm not racing for when I'm going to hit these many subscribers. Yeah. If I've impacted one person.
Yeah. And that's the point of all of this, right? Like, and I think a lot of the time social media does kind of make you forget what the point really is.
Oh, yeah. It definitely does. I've gotten caught up with it. Yeah. Oh, a few times. But I just know now when to step back. Because again, it comes down to, how's it making you feel right now? Yeah. Is this like a weight? Is it bringing you down? Is it counterproductive? Yeah. If that's the case, step away. Yeah. Take a minute. Yeah. And now in terms of what else is next, I think I briefly mentioned a few new services that I'm planning to incorporate. I'm just sharpening up my skills, creating my social media plan for how I'm going to roll those services out, creating the space. You know, there's a lot that goes into it. I have to like reorganize a whole bunch of stuff, create the forms, blah, 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 blah. So there's a lot of admin. Yeah. But I think it'll be fun.
I'm very excited. Yeah. I'm very excited.
What else is next? My birthday. My new year, 37. Yes, I've completed 37, okay? And I'm saying that because that's how we say it. Like, that's the whole Indian way of saying it, right?
Really? I actually haven't. I feel like...
Oh, my God. It's a thing. If you're 37, you've completed 37 years. Achha. And I did not understand this for the life of me until I was like, because when you're born, you're 0. So when you're 1, you finish a whole year, right?
Oh, my God. That's... So
Indians are always good at math.
Funny. Oh yeah, that's their strength. My dad's an accountant. Oh yeah, same. My dad loves numbers.
I wish I had a little bit of that. Numbers like make me a little. Like, I use computers for that reason. Me too. And software.
Numbers are not my strength. Yeah. It's fine.
Oh my God. The other day, one of my regular clients came in and I gave her the total. She gave me the cash and it was such a long day. I counted it. I'm like, yeah, this is correct. Yeah. She literally tipped me like $70 when I counted after. Because like my, I don't know, dyslexic brain or something by the end of the night. I was like, how did I miss $70? And like, that's how much extra she gave me. And I was like, are you crazy? Yeah. She's like, no, you go just above and beyond. And you're just, I'm like, I literally gave you ice cream. Just shut up. Like,
oh my God, that's so sweet. That's actually so sweet. I get very nervous. So like, you know what, like restaurants and stuff, when a server comes and if I have cash, so not every restaurant does this. Some restaurants, they'd be like, oh, how much do you want back? So I have to do the math in the moment. God, and I'm like,
I just say bring everything.
I've said that. And then they're just like, I don't know. I've said that. I'm just like, can you just bring everything? But I don't know. They had some sort of pushback. I don't know.
Maybe it's because they think you're going to take all the money and not
tip them. I guess. I don't know. But I was so nervous. I was like, and then I ended up like tipping them $20. And I'm like,
okay, what's your take on tipping? Do you guilt tip?
I want to ensure that the servers actually get the tip.
That's it.
I think a lot of
and in the service is good.
Yeah. Oh, service is huge. But I want to ensure that the servers actually get the tip and the restaurant is not just taking it. Because I think there are some restaurants where the servers actually don't get tip.
Yeah.
I am very I don't want to say picky, but if I'm tipping, yes, I need the service to be good.
Yeah, 100%.
Right?
Yeah, and I think this like, okay, so servers in restaurants, all of that, I understand tipping, but this mandatory.
Oh, yeah. And now the machines, even if there's no like service kind of place, the machines automatically have a tip section. And I'm like, no, I'm not tipping you.
Yeah. and what if you absolutely were horrible.
Yeah.
If you were a bad server.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Then I don't. And then I don't.
And I know I'm also in the service business.
Yeah.
I don't always expect a tip.
Yeah.
It's because I price fairly. Mm-hmm. If you wish to and you really, okay, I'm not going to say no, but there's no pressure.
There's no pressure. Yeah, exactly.
Can you just make sure you come back and get your hair done?
Yeah. You want to build those loyal customers.
That's it.
Yeah, those loyal clients.
The tip shouldn't be the pinch for you.
No.
You know, it's not fair.
It's not fair. Yeah.
But yeah, like if you really, you wanted to spoil me with $70, like, you know, just because.
Like, okay, sure, I'll take it.
And I messaged her the next morning. I said, thank you.
Yeah.
I don't know what. I'm really bad at math, clearly. I've embarrassed myself. She's like, no, it was a long day. It was like 9 o'clock by the time I was done. 9:30. And she was like, it's okay. It's forgiven. I'm like,
aw. No, that's really nice. But like, that's what I'm saying. You're great at building those like loyal clients. And you have that kind of personality.
Yeah, I think the ones that love me. Mm-hmm. And I might not be palatable to some people.
But that's okay. You don't have to be everyone's cup of tea.
No. There definitely may be some people who are like, hey, you're too much.
Yeah. And that's fine.
That's fine.
Yeah.
I'm animated.
Oh, me too. I'm so animated.
I'm a dancer.
Oh, obviously. Mm-hmm. I have to express myself, right? No, and I'm also just very like high energy. Yeah. Right? And some people don't like that. And I'm like, that's fine. I don't have to be your best friend. Yeah, I'm totally okay with that, right?
Exactly. I love that high energy.
Yeah.
And people,
that's what keeps you young.
Yeah.
Like,
I want to expel it.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
Yeah.
I want to express it.
Express yourself, high energy. And again, we were talking about just like that positive environment that people can just naturally create. Mm-hmm. And a lot of it comes from that without trying too hard.
Yeah. And energy spent is you not storing it.
Yes, exactly.
And then creating space for more.
Exactly.
So,
and that's how you can express. That's how you get into these creative outlets.
Flows. Yeah.
Flow state. Get into a flow state. Yeah, exactly.
That's been my like thing lately. Just I keep thinking flow state.
Flow state. Yeah.
That is the biggest luxury you can have.
Yeah.
Facts. Slow, like, you know, I know it's very basic. You see slow mornings and but they are the real luxuries of life.
Oh, 100%.
Because you see all these TV shows and stuff with like billionaires and this and that. Like, where's your happiness?
Yeah. And I'm not saying that like there are some billionaires who haven't maybe figured it out and they're able to like, but those kind of billionaires, we don't know about them. And that's how you know.
Yeah. Because they're just buzzed off.
They're just like doing their thing. They don't care to be in media. They don't need to show it to anyone. They're living their life. Yeah. They're doing what they got to do. They're not putting this extra pressure on themselves.
Exactly.
And that's how it should be.
That's my motto.
Yeah.
Of course, money's great.
Money's great. I'm not complaining.
Money buys material luxury.
Yeah.
Which is great.
Yeah.
You know, it's nice. But I wouldn't trade. If I had to pick one, I wouldn't trade.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, for me, I'm just like, I want to be able to be stable.
Yes, exactly.
Be able to, you know, take care of myself and my family.
Yeah.
But as long as I can do that, I'm not here trying to push myself too much. Right?
Exactly.
Like, I want to enjoy what life is all about. Mm-hmm.
I agree.
Well, on that note, I want to say thank you so much for letting me do this. This was so much fun.
Thank you so much. It actually felt very out of my comfort zone.
Yeah, well, you did
speak
great.
about myself.
I know
so much in so much depth. Like we've been talking for a long time.
Yeah. Well, happy birthday.
Thank you. This is a special year.
This is a special year.
Yeah. I know it's not my 40th or whatever, but
doesn't matter. I feel like every year is a special year.
Yeah. But I don't know what. Something about this feels different. Maybe it's like now a whole year has passed since my brother.
Yes.
Last one was a little tough.
Yeah.
I made my own watermelon cake. I made a cake out of watermelon.
Oh, I love that.
I was like healthy cake.
I love that.
But yeah, this year feels like I
you feel
can
more
come back
peace.
and at peace.
Yeah.
And I can celebrate a little more. Just celebrate life.
Yes. I love this for you.
Right.
I'm very excited for you.
You lived through all this.
Yes.
And you're here.
Yeah. Yeah. You can actually really, I feel like this is a very reflective year for you.
Yeah. It's a,
yeah.
you know?
Yeah. Oh, I'm very happy for you. I'm very excited
you.
for you. And I know you're just going to keep going at it and you're going to do amazing and you're doing amazing. Of course.
Thank you. This was so much fun.
I know. I love this. Thank you.
And until next time. And that was part 2. So if you're in the beauty game or just love it from the sidelines, this episode's for you. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss an episode again. And we're back to our regular programming. Trust me, what's coming next is fire. Thanks for riding with me. Always see you in the next one.